Need assistance, friends, he bellowed, sliding easily from the saddle. That we do, returned one of them, a broad-shouldered fellow who was piling spilled straw with a long, tined pitchfork.
Macbeth, a novel, is an attempt to retell a familiar story, rethinking it specifically in terms of the kind of storytelling that suits a novel as opposed to a play, and specifically also thinking of it as an audiobook.
We can repair the wheel, but we have to get it off first. Banquo strode over. Seems you already have a giant working for you.
Macbeth is an extraordinary play. It's very short. There are huge chunks of it that are either incomplete or missing or censored. So there are massive questions that you have to bring of interpretation to Macbeth, whether you're doing it as a play or a theatre or whatever. And we had to do that. We had to answer questions that Shakespeare left very open.
A lot of the things that happen in the novel are kind of things I suspected, and they're definitely themes that sometimes when you hear about a production of Macbeth or you see it, certain things are explored, but this is kind of a much richer kind of exploration of all the themes. I think it's great. I think people will be fascinated by it.
And in particular, we wanted to find out who Macbeth and Lady Macbeth really were, because the play doesn't answer that.
He'd seized the throne for himself decades before, and always sworn he'd never face that first eventuality again. Yet the second, crueler end lurked always in the shadows, unseen, unknowable, like a contagion waiting on its moment. Cawdor had turned traitor. There was no one now to stop Sweno and his Vikings pouncing on Macbeth and Banquo's forces, however they fared against MacDonald. The fight was lost. Those who had been loyal to the crown were as good as dead. And so, thought Duncan, King of Scotland, am I.
I think in popular conception, both Macbeth and Lady Macbeth have been very easily demonized, represented as simply ambitious, power-hungry people who do terrible things.
I mean, I've always thought of Lady Macbeth as quite a sympathetic character. I know that's maybe me. But, you know, I don't think she's like evil. I don't think she's one of these characters that is completely just like, oh, I want to get my hands on the throne from the start. Not at all, and certainly not in this version.
We've really focused on this fantastic story of a great man who falls from the heights of Scottish nobility to become this murderous, disastrous thug. And that is the tale that we're trying to tell.
The point is to retell and rethink a story made famous by Shakespeare. And this is something that Shakespeare himself did all the time. So I think that, in a sense, what we're doing is continuing a tradition in which Shakespeare was preeminent.